Hello, everyone. Please let me know, how do you feel? How do you hear me? How do you see? I was so busy with reading your comments that forgot that it's time. So welcome, everyone. Today we have a meeting number 5, but they can be watched in different orders. So see what is really resonated with you. And I'm glad that you are here. Please let me know how you can hear me. Okay, welcome from Tacoma neighbors, Netherlands. Everything is good. Good. I'm glad to see people who are attending almost every class. And today we are going to talk about taste of life. Again, I want to remind that all our meetings will be about feeling alive and feeling full of life. So this is the ultimate goal. Okay, everything is good. Hello everyone. So today we are going to do a short meditation, visualization at the end. But before we go there, I want to talk about food and what is really this food is satisfying, which hunger it satisfies. Does it satisfy or not, or what affects this fruit and the energy that it can give us. So right now I want to show you a short presentation, very short, it's one slide. And I still use this whiteboard in Zoom, so stay with me. It's not a piece of art, but I hope I tried to simplify it as much as possible. So we humans are complex beings. We have multiple layers of energy field. Like we have physical body, very dense, something that we can touch. We have etheric body, emotional body, mental body, causal body, spiritual body, and divine body. So all those bodies could be hungry. All those bodies requires energy. They can give us energy, but they can require some energy as well. And when we talk about food in current times, we only talk about physical form of the food and how this food satisfies only physical body. But what should we do with all this, the rest of the bodies? Why do they satisfy? Does this food bring satisfaction and energy to other layers of our beings? This is a big question, and today we are going to talk about it, how we can find the satisfaction not just for physical body, but our emotional body will be satisfied with this food. Mental body will be satisfied. Spiritual body could be satisfied with food. In almost every tradition, there is always some kind of rituals. They could be religious rituals or cultural rituals of blessing food, bringing some celebration food, not just because it satisfies body, but maybe it's there are some other reasons for it. I did not do big research. I cannot insist that this is a scientific discovery, but this is a very important to understand that food can become holy. We have a holy water, we have a holy bread as a symbol of flesh and blood of Christ. But this is not just about Christianity. Every tradition has some very particular respect for food. There are some forbidden food, there are some encouraging food. So why do we spend so much time to really do all these rituals? Because blessing of food is really doesn't have much physical effect. Food doesn't change as we see it, but we still do it. And why is it so important? And why is it still be important at these days? So I believe that food as a human may have different layers. It's a, we can, of course, we can see that it's physical form of the food. We have the aesthetic vision that is satisfied different things in our perception of the food. It has smell, it has textures. There are so many different layers on the physical level only, but at the same time, it will be affected by who is cooking your food, who is preparing the food, from whose hands hold it, in which emotional state it's holding. If you notice that when you're happy, when you're in love with your family, whatever you're cooking, whatever you're preparing will be healing medicine for your family. Their family will be happy by eating this food. But if you're angry, if you're upset, if you are depressed, the food losing this taste, like it losing the energy. It could be a poisonous or toxic to the family. So I'm very cautious about the state when I'm cooking. If I don't want to cook, I just do something very simple, frozen food, warmed. But if I'm happy, I want to share this energy. I'm charging the food with this energy and share it. So it's very important to pay attention who is preparing your food and in which state. Of course, when we go to restaurants, nobody knows in which state is the cook right now. But you need to pay attention about your reaction to the food. Is your body is aroused by the food? Like, how does it look? How does it smell? Does it bring saliva in your mouth? Like, do you really want it? Is your body resonates with the food, or you want something different? Because if you look at the food and it has no effect on your emotions, on your other senses, there will be no effect. There will be no satisfaction at the end. There will be no, it will be not enough. You will still eat this food and it's always hungry because your other bodies, your etheric body, emotional body, mental body will not be satisfied. There will be no, this part of this structure, which is much bigger than we are. Like this bigger part of this us will not be satisfied. And as a result, we want something else and we want something else and we want something else. And it's constantly hungry. Another thing that I want to mention, that like if we like many people talking about become vegetarians because animals and flesh of animals, meat carries on so many pain and suffering. I'm vegetarian, but lately I start eat meat again because it's not about, you need to understand that in every culture, there was traditions when there was a special prayer and special ritual before killing an animal. Animal was, and it still be in some traditions, like it's in Judaism, in Muslim cultures, in other cultures that I know, like they still carry on these traditions. It's not about just killing. I know that white people right now making it very drastic and very horrible, like the conditions the animals are living, the conditions that animals are processed, sacrifice their lives. It's scary. But again, you still be able to do some small prayer or small blessing, that the life of this animal is not forgotten, is not wasted, that it still be honoring the energy. Energy of death is very powerful, but it's a very low vibration. So to compensate it, you need to elevate it by the gratitude that you can give. The gratitude could be very simple. Like if you're religious, you can do whole prayer before eating and say it to the animals and all the fruits and vegetables on your table, not just animal produce, but you can create your own affirmation where you say, thank you for providing me food. Thank you for sacrificing your body so I can live and do something good in my life. So this is a very important, that gratitude gives some respect to the meat that we are consuming. It's a very, it brings a different energy, and you're shifting this energy of pain and suffering. That it's not, again, it's not a wasted life. It's a life that was honored. In Judaism, it's interesting. There is a tradition and explanation that human, by consuming the meat of animal, elevate the consciousness of animal. So the next life, he can be born in a different form with a higher consciousness, maybe even a human. So there is some explanations in different traditions. And again, it's not just about like excusing eating animals, but it's about honoring something that was produced for you so you can live fully and long and do something good in your life. So this was specifically about meat, because I had many questions about it in a different class and I forgot to mention. So how we really satisfying all these 7 bodies that we have: physical, etheric, emotional. And again, maybe the food that we are eating is a poor substitute for what other emotional body, like all other bodies, require. Maybe you looking for some emotions, something that you really thriving for, and you start eating. The physical form will not satisfy it. The emotional body needs a different vibration. It can be, maybe you need a hug, or maybe you need a kind word, or maybe you just need to be alone and experience what is boiling inside of you, instead of going to the fridge and start munching everything that is there, all this junk food that we are feeding physical body, and still keep other layers hungry. So whenever you look at the food now, I hope that you still ask yourself, does it satisfy my rest of my bodies? Does it brings me satisfaction? Is it something that I really want? Does it bring me, what kind of emotions are aroused in me after awakening in me after I eat something? Because if your emotions could be only guilt or shame that you're eating something that you're not supposed to, there will be, it will be poisonous, it will be toxic to your body, because everything is connected, and we need to be very cautious about what we are thinking, what we are doing during the eating, like at which emotional state I'm approach the food, cooking and eating as well. If I'm only thinking about, if I'm angry and I'm thinking about somebody, like, oh, like this person is so upset me, and I want like to punish him or her for some reason, this mental energy, emotional energy, will be charging your food. Food contains so much water, and water is the best memory carry on device, a natural device. And if you bring these emotions, if you bring this energy to your food, it's not just your mind cannot process it, your heart cannot process it, your stomach will not be able to process it as well, because it's poisonous, it's very hard to digest. So we need to approach the food in a different state, in a different emotions. And in this case, it will be tasting different, it will smell different, it will nourishing your body, and it will be digested appropriately and processed in your body. So it's a very important. Many allergies could be I believe, it's my belief, it's not scientific approved, but many allergies are result of emotional approach to the food, what the food is representing to you. That's why we have so many addictions in food, like sweetness. What kind of, like, if you want to eat unstoppably something sweet, what kind of sweetness you are looking in life? Is it sweetness of your mother? Is it sweetness of your dear one, somebody who next to you, that you still be hungry? You're trying to feed the emotional body with a very low vibrations. How you can compensate it from different sources? How you can go and hug or go and talk to somebody? Even if this professional help can satisfy this emotional body, maybe you need to watch a movie instead of eating cake, something sweet, something dear to you, awakening memories, awakening emotions inside of your body, something that is a much higher vibrations. Mental body, sometimes we are so hungry for information that we start eating at the same time, like the again, information could be poisonous. People next to us could be poisonous because they talking about gossips, about all these different things, and this poison we tried to compensate with some food, physical form, and it's poisonous our body as well. So we need to be a little bit more careful about what we are consuming in general, what we are consuming on physical body, what we are consuming on mental body, on mental level, on emotional level, on energetic level. Sometimes you go to the places and you're suddenly so boring, everything is so boring, nothing to do. And the best thing to compensate it, food. So we need to be at least aware of different layers of ourselves and how to satisfy them. So hopefully during our live meetings, we can find some techniques to bring more satisfaction and more food for soul instead of food just for the physical body. Okay, so this will close. So because I cannot see your chat is okay. Okay, so next, what I want to talk is about how to understand what I want. And how, first of all, we need to ask ourselves what I want. This is a very important question. It's not just about feelings that I'm trying to be aware of, but about everything. Do I want today eat fish or meat, vegetable, tomatoes or cucumbers? Like, you really need to be asking those questions, and you pay attention about how do you feel after you eaten them. Do they satisfy you? Is it exactly what your body wanted? Does it exactly bring the energy that you wanted? Does you energized by the food or not? Because sometimes we have like we eat something, it looks okay, but there is no satisfaction. There is like only disappointment in this process, and as a result, we get hungry very soon because what we wanted, what we really was looking for, never been satisfied. This hunger still be calling for us. Maybe you need to ask, like, do I want to eat right now, or do I want to drink? Water is important, and food is very often compensating the lack of water in our body. So pay attention, ask those questions, and pay attention how you feel after the food. Another thing that you can do some regular fasting, maybe 24 hours or 36 hours, like from one evening till a whole day of fasting, and till the morning of the day after. It helps you to release toxins out of your body and really listen, what do you want? Because in those 36 hours, usually you cultivate this real understanding, what I want, what am I really hungry for, and and I highly encourage you to satisfy this hunger. It's not about like, oh, do I need to spend some money on expensive food? No, when you really know what you want, the satisfaction will require only a small amount. All these big amounts of food only when you eat not what you want, something that is hard to process for your body. It's more as a additional chore to process all the food instead of satisfying your food. Okay, I'm borderline anorexic, like it's emotions. About anorexia, it's a very interesting, like I was attending training in Sedona with Ingrid Sanjust. It's a very powerful teacher. And she was, what she was talking about anorexia, it's the best way to treat it when mother, and it's not like, I'm talking about not the physical form, but like just imagine that the anorexia is when mother gives you food and she said like, you can take food only from me. She doesn't allow father to participate in the feeding child. So the best way is to at least visualize or do a constellation about it, how your father is feeding you and mother say, it's okay. It's okay that somebody else can give you food, to give you, and it's not just about food, it's about emotions as well, about something else. So it's a mother's permission to give everybody else to you satisfaction. So I don't know if it's resonate with you, Mary, but this is what I was explained. I haven't had any clients with anorexic, so I cannot confirm it, but see if it resonates with you, this information. Something that you can take not just from your mother's hands. It's hard for me to fast because I have low blood sugar. Again, it's not for everybody, but again, if you imagine that your body is an overcrowded house, like there's so much people, there's so much things in the body. So it's very hard to understand And it's very hard to not just understand, but appreciate something valuable in the house, because there's so much else around you. So fasting helps us to take away something that doesn't serve us anymore, some cleaning, all this garbage that is holding back us, and create a space for something valuable and important for us. So this is important thing. Okay, my mother always cooked. It's not just about the cooking, but about saying, it's mostly about saying that like anything good can come only from me. And this is a permission. No, not just from you. You're giving me valuable energies and feelings and lessons, but everybody else can give me the same. Everybody else can satisfy my other bodies, not just physical body. So it's something is that I was taught. Okay, so this is we talked about fasting. Consult with your doctor. Maybe it's not about fasting. Maybe it's about having some days with very light food like salads, maybe without meat, because again, every tradition has at least 2 days in the week where we don't eat meat, and allow ourselves to lighten the energy in our body, clean it a little bit, and bring a different lightness in our life. Okay, yes, my father was kind of excluded. So yes, this is all about exclusion of the father. So, but again, it needs to be permitted. Like sometimes we will talk about mothers and fathers. Like I try to collect as many resources before we go to the topic, because it's always dramatic. Even if good relationship with mothers, with fathers, there still be so much emotions awakening there. But again, it's about one parent giving permission. It's okay to love and take the energy from another person, from another parent. Yeah. I'm never hungry, I'm fat. It's a it's a problem for most of us now these days, because again, we are not eating what we want, and we're just choosing what we have right now, and it gives us a very it's hard to digest. Even it's not what we want. There is a beautiful book about, I will post the link to the book in the info box. You can buy it. It's about intermediate fasting and how allow ourselves to be a little bit hungry between foods. Like if you take like 4 hours between food, it helps you to really understand what you want. It's this what is very interesting, and it helps. Like this is what I'm doing, and it gives me much more energy. Even I eat less, the energy level is much higher. So that when hunting, mom said, stay out of my kitchen. It's the kitchen is a very sacred place for any woman. So, but again, it's not just about the kitchen. Stay out of my life is a different message that could be behind it. But again, every situation is so unique, and it's hard to say on the group that something that will work for everybody. So it needs to be more precise attention. See how you can include the father in your kitchen. At least you can welcome him there, visualize him there. Okay, so this is about how to understand fasting. Ask yourself about what I want, and ask yourself, how do I feel? What kind of thought this food awakening in me? What kind of emotions, what kind of energy I feel after this food is consumed. And again, the gratitude to people who raised and provided the food to you. This is the best blessing, the gratitude of energy other people invested in the food, who raised the produce, who for animals who sacrificed their lives. So this is a very important, this is gives it like your value, your time, your energy has a powerful impact in my life. This is what helps me to move forward in my life and do something good. Because when we take it, when we're grateful for something, we can consume it and use it in a much more powerful way. So it's a very important to have this gratitude, to understand how many people are standing behind each coffee cup that you're drinking. Like if you can just imagine how many people are preparing, raising those beans, collecting, processing, like frying, do all these different small steps, investing their time and energy, their life in this process. All these people who created airplanes, cars, shipments, materials. So it's coming to you from, I don't know, from Colombia to United States, or from Brazil to United States. How many people coordinated this process? So this cup of coffee will be on your table today. So if you just visualize those hundreds, thousands of people who are standing behind it, you will have this enormous gratitude and see how much more energy is invested in your cup. It's, of course, it will boost your energy, but it's not just about coffee. It's about everything. About these days, every apple, it's very rarely it's grown on you in your garden. It's came from a different country. It's came through different cultures, through thousands of miles to your table, and people invested their energy. They don't do it specifically for you. They've done it for themselves. But again, this energy helps you to move forward. You can use this energy. You can appreciate and gratefully take it and use it forward. So this is something is very important about the gratitude energy. We will do a class about this gratitude energy and how this energy can lift us from all these people we're connected through material world in our life. But I think I've done already so much talking. Thank you for your questions, for your comments, but we are going to do a small meditation, and this meditation will require some kind of fruit. I have Californian grapefruits today, but I invite you to choose any fruit you have. It could be an apple, it could be mango, it could be orange, it could be vegetable, cucumber, tomato, something that you can eat right away after this food, after the meditation. I want you to experience a different approach and how we can use our energy to shift the taste of this fruits and vegetables in our life. So this is a very powerful visualization that I learned from the healing modality called Kalamni, and it's an exercise to train you the way you visualize things. So please let me know that you have some fruit in your hands, and we will keep moving forward. Okay, I never eat. I eat one small meal. I force myself. Don't try to force yourself, like try to ask yourself what you want. Why there is a block there? And see, like, let's see what will happen after the meditation, how you will react to the fruit that you're holding or any vegetable that you're holding. Send blessing to them too. Yes, gratitude. Send your gratitude to them. The gratitude is a very specific energy. It's not just thank you. It's not like, oh, you did it for me, I thank you. Gratitude is just an energy to the creator. Thank you for providing me. Thank you for involving so many people in the process so I can have this orange, or I can have this cup of tea, or I can have this steak on my table. There are so many people invested energy in it, time, lives. They work like very hard, but again, they are doing not specifically for you. They are doing it for themselves. But the creator organize the process. People organize this process so you can have it. Okay, so we have an orange now. Good. Yeah. And before we go, put your feet on the ground. Make sure that we are grounded well. We are supported. Take a deep inhale. And exhale. And just feel the support of the floor, support of the foundation of your house, support of the land underneath, support of your chair. You're very well rooted here. You are present here and now. And take your fruit in your hands, like just between your palms, in your palms, and look at it. This exercise is not about imagining. This exercise is about allowing yourself to see that you don't have any limitations to see beyond physical form. And we start just exploring your fruit in your arms, in your hands. Explore the texture, imperfections, the shape, the color. Just take your time to look at it. There are maybe some bumps, maybe there is some leaf or scratches on your fruit. You can smell it. Notice if there is any smell. And when you explored enough your fruit outside, just allow your vision, like a microscope, going deeper and deeper and deeper beyond the skin. You can do it with open eyes, or if it's hard, you can close your eyes and allow yourself to see what is beyond the skin. Like a microscope, it's getting closer and closer, and it goes beyond the skin, and it goes through different layers, through the flesh of your fruit. You may start experiencing like you are in the flesh of this fruit. What kind of texture does it have? Is it solid, or is it juicy, soft? Does it have any segments, or is it consistent? Does it have any pockets of juice or not? Just try to move your body through this flesh. This juiciness around you. You're very small and your body may experience it. And in this move, you're approaching a seed. Your fruit may have a very beautiful, small or big seed. Notice how different is the texture of the seed. Notice the shape of it. Notice the size. The skin over the seed. Is it sharp? Is it soft? Is it hard? Just explore it. And there is a hand that is taking the seed from this fruit or vegetables and plant it in the earth. And the seed become bigger and bigger. It absorbs some moisture. There's some life starts activating in the seed. And the skin over the seed is cracking. And the first root of the seed starts growing deeper in the earth, in the soil. Notice how first root is a little bit getting thicker and thicker, and smaller roots start growing. And the first leaf, first sprout of this fruit or vegetable is appearing on the surface of the soil. Now we have like time lapse. And you can see in a faster pace how this plant is growing. It's become a sprout, it's become a bush, a tree. Notice the weather around the tree, the climate. How it's changing. Maybe seasons are changing. There is summer, there is fall, winter, spring. There are birds flying around. Sun could be very warm and gentle, or it could be harsh and very hot. Rain is washing the tree and bring life to the soil and to the tree. People take care of this tree, of this plant. They take their love and energy caring about each tree in the garden, each plant in the garden. Notice that maybe some bees are buzzing around. Birds can make a nest in the tree. And it's a new season of spring, new spring. And the tree starts blooming. Or maybe for your plant, it's summer and it starts blooming. Notice the smell of these flowers. Color of petals. Bees or other insects are buzzing around. Go inside of each flower. Notice how much life happening around this tree. How much energy. How much love and light. Time is going on and petals are falling down, but there is a small fruit starts forming. It's very pale, it's green, but it's getting bigger and bigger. The juice and life is coming to each fruit on your plant. Notice how it's growing, ripening. It's changing colors. It's completely ripe now. This perfect plant with perfect fruits or vegetables is ready to harvest. Go around your plant. Choose the fruit that you want the most. Something that will satisfy you. Bring juiciness and life to you. Pull this fruit, take it from the plant. Feel its weight and value in your hands. Feel the texture. Feel the smell. Say your gratitude to the nature and people and animals who invested their time in creating this beautiful piece of art for you, piece of life for you. And if you had closed eyes, open them and just look at it. It's the same fruit. It's the same vegetable in your hands. What has changed? Do you smell differently? Do you feel warmth differently? Just observe. How's your emotional state changed? And when you're ready, please share your experience with us. If you have any questions, if you have any insights for you. Mine starts smelling very, very well. I've never been big fan of grapefruit smell, but it's I love this bitterness in it, and it's really gives me the full mouth of full of saliva. I'm like, I'm really hungry for the fruit. It's a very interesting. Yesterday I did the same meditation for different group, for Russian group, and after the class I decided to go to outside, and I was almost drunk because everything starts smelling so much, like it's everything is blooming, and it's just so much sweetness in the air. Even I was walking every day the same path. I've never noticed how rich the air of sweetness around my house. So I hope that you will enjoy that something is awakened in you, some hunger for life, and there are different tastes for life. And it's a very important to sometimes slow down and completely shift the energy of the fruit. Yes, full body experience for me too. Yeah. Notice which moment, because this is a metaphorical process of life, the whole life as well, like how we can plant the seed, starting from the physical form, plant the seed, allow it to die and be born again. There is a cycle of life, and how you take it, it's look like it's dying, but it will be born again and again. So it's a very beautiful, could be a very emotional process. I am savoring the orange more as I eat it. Yes, enjoy it. Enjoy it. I wanted to show you that it's a very this meditation really affects the physical body and physical flesh of the food, because I've done this meditation many years in a row, and after a couple of them I left fruits without eating them. So, and one of them was even left behind in the purse in a dark place without any ventilation. You usually know what's happening. It starts rotting. But not with this. Orange has so much water in it, but my fruits are just dried out. They're very hard, and it's they preserve the shapes. They're just getting smaller. And it's how it's really, they are not rotting after you create you give them so much life. They can be dried out, but again, there is no toxins, there is no infection in it. So it could be very healing. So try. If you want to try, you can do an experiment. I'm always a little bit lazy to do such experiment, but because I did an exercise yesterday and today, and I have grapefruits now, they're much bigger than apples, or not apples, but oranges. So maybe it will dry out. One I will keep in my closet, so it will be drying out as well. So this is interesting. Something to try, but it will take about 6 months to completely dry, maybe even more, because again, it's the natural process. It's very slow. My orange warmed up doing Reiki, no smell. I hugged the seed. The tree was strong and beautiful, feeling much peace. Notice that it's not just about changing the energy of the fruit. It's changing our energy as well. It's changing the emotional state and our connection to the fruit as well. Yeah, calming down. I had a strawberry. I love to look at it closely and see the beautiful imperfections. Yeah, nature is the beauty is in imperfections. It's we are trying to be so perfect as people, and if you look in the nature, each berry, each fruit, each orange are so unique and so different that it's and it doesn't change the taste. It doesn't affect the perfection, doesn't affect the what is inside of them. So it's very important to understand that we can allow ourselves to be imperfect as well. So if you want to experiment, you can try to work with different fruits. We had people who did with mango, with apples, with vegetables, and every time it's a different experience. Sometimes you take some fruits that you've never seen the tree, how it's growing, what kind of colors are petals and flowers, and it's opening up. Somehow you download this energy, like download this information from the fruit, and it helps you to learn something. That your mental body is satisfied as well by the knowledge, like what kind of climate it's growing, what kind of trees or garden it's growing. So you can do such a journeys in somebody's garden who are growing these fruits for you. So it's a interesting approach to gardening. Yesterday, this was just an orange I went to the store to buy for the class. Now I have deep appreciation for the life of the orange, the life that brought it to me and the life it gives to me. Yeah, it took many years for the orange tree to become very strong, and at least it's the whole season for fruit to form. It's a lot of energy there. It's and it's pure energy from the soil, from the sun, something that is very important. But again, when we're talking about animals, it's again, there could be some prayers or blessings to the food that can shift this energy as well. We haven't done it. We don't have to go through the whole process of growing the animal, but you can just say this appreciation and gratitude for the life and energy that it's brought in you in your life. That it's the worst in life that can happen is a wasted life, like when nobody remember you, nobody notice you, nobody knows that you've ever existed. And I believe this is the same for animals and plants. Like if never noticed you ever, what was the lesson for you? How we can appreciate the presence of something in on this earth, and something that affected you deeply, that it can be very valuable appreciation for animals as well. It's a neurographic exercise, as so many connections bring us food. No, Neurographica helps us to see the connection between everything. This is a very important, yes. But the exercise itself is not from Neurographica. The exercise is from the healing modality called Kalamni. And thank you for reminding me, because I almost forgot that tomorrow on Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, we are going to have a class. If you are subscribers to our website, if you are subscribers for our membership, it will be free class. If you are not subscriber, you can register specifically for this class. It's only $29, but it will be very interesting and powerful class about finding wholeness in life, as always, and how we can collect different parts of ourselves and see how complex, interesting, and exciting we are. So tomorrow there will be Neurographica class at 9 a.m. So if you want to join, you still have the opportunity. If you don't have a chance to join us tomorrow, you can buy it later. This class speaks to my heart. I don't eat so much meat. If I do, it will be biological. Yeah. Again, there are some traditions, like if you use kosher meat, they read prayers before, like they do some rituals before sacrificing animals. There is some, and it's a different effect. Like I'm not very sensitive and I don't eat meat, but I have people who are very empathic and they see the difference between kosher meat and just regular meat. So it could be very some help for you if you feel that the heaviness. And wow, what a nice smell of the orange in my hands, and visited create in my mind. Yes, in my mind. The smells is awakening. It's like it's again, it doesn't feel like something changed in the fruit. The fruit seems the same, but something awakened inside of us. We are opening up for this food. We are opening up for this orange, and we start appreciating the energy that it's bringing in our lives. Thank you for this. Anna really enjoyed this. Yeah, try different fruits. I'm highly recommend. Try different. When you do the bread, you can do the same process of bread, and maybe not the seed, but just visualize the process of creating bread. Notice how many hands were touching the bread. All this wheat and flour and all dough that was created. It's a very interesting. So many energy invested in each food. Plants. I've heard horror stories about the processing plants. Yes, yeah, of course. There are, but again, the gratitude energy, the energy of appreciation, is such a high, has such a high vibration that it can shift any suffering. And again, you can release the animal from the suffering, from stuckness of the suffering by appreciation. Its role in your life. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say today. Thank you again for coming. Tomorrow or next week on Friday at 9 a.m. as always, Pacific time, we will talk about a different exercise, how we can move in life and in what we see in life, what we really notice in life, how to observe and how life is affecting us. So see you next week. Take care. And for some of you, I'll see you tomorrow in our class. Bye.